Very good morning. Now we are going to learn about software engineering process models. So what is process model? What are the different types of process model that will be seen in this lecture, right? So what is the use of process models? The process models are useful to design the software product. Already we learned SDLC, right? So during the development of the product, which model have to follow can be known in this concept. So based on the process models, there are different, based on the working mechanism, they are classified into different types. So during the development of the SDLC or any software product, we have to go through any one of the process model. So based on the process model only, we can design a software product. So what are the different process models are means? There are plenty of models like waterfall model, iterative model, spiral model, incremental model, big bang model, V model. So there are different models. So based on the organizers, based on the developers, they will go through any one of the process model. Based on the model, we are going to build the product. So first one we will see about what is waterfall model. So why it is called waterfall model first of all. So in the normal days, we know that always the water flows from high to low, high to down, right? So whenever we will give some water, always its direction is from up to down only. In that way only it will flow efficiently. Similarly, this is also called waterfall model. Why? Because whatever the steps are initiated in this waterfall model are always flows from starting phase to down phase, ending phase only. Just go through the steps. It starts with the requirement analysis. Once the requirement analysis is over, it will go to the system design. If it is system design is completed, then it will go to the coding phase, then testing, then deployment, then maintenance. So this, like how water falls, this is also follows the same scenario. That's why this is called waterfall model. So in the waterfall model, if you are going to design any product, just go through the steps. What are the main steps? So the first step of the waterfall model is requirement gathering and analysis. So in this phase, we will collect the requirement. Different requirements will be collected from the customers. Based on the requirements collection, we will perform analysis, and based on the analysis, we will give classifications. What are the functional requirements, non-functional requirements, what are the user requirements. Once the requirements classification is completed, we will perform analysis and we will give priority to the requirements. So all the requirements may not be satisfied at a time, right? So for that purpose, here we will collect which requirement have to be implemented first. For that purpose, analysis phase is useful. Once the requirement gathering and analysis is completed, then only it will enter into the next phase. So in the next phase is nothing but software design. So in the software design, already we learned like what will give the output. It will take the input from the previous phase and it will give an architecture, a rough diagram to the next stages. So it gives the architecture. So in the architecture, you can specify the functionalities, what are the main features, what it takes the input, what it gives the output based on your input. Like all the diagrammatic representation will be there in the design phase. Once the design phase is completed, then it will enter into the coding phase. So in the coding phase, what will happen? So based on the customer requirement, based on the choice specified by the customer, here coding will be, implementation will be done. So simply the requirements will be transformed into the technical solutions. Once the coding is completed, then only it will go into the testing phase. So in the testing phase, the different types of testings will be conducted like unit testing, performance testing, system testing, integration testing, module testing. Like different types of testings will be conducted. If all the tests have been completed, then only it will enter into the deployment phase. So in the deployment phase, the product is released for the trial version. So in the trial version, if they get good they got good feedback from the customers, simply they will release into market and the maintenance phase is completed. So based on the deployment feedback, based on the feedback only, they will release into the market. So in the initial, they will release in the trial version. Like already we about the feedback, like what the customers are thinking, how the market people are analysis is good, like all that feedback will be collected, and based on the feedback they will release the product. So this is the process of waterfall model. So in the process waterfall model, the main advantages are, so it will complete step by step, so it is very easy to implement, right? Why? Because once all the first steps are completed, then only we will go into the next stages. So this is very useful whenever we are going to design a product by using waterfall model. It's very easy. First we will plan the first phase, then only we will plan to the next phase, then we plan to the other phase. So all the steps will be completed in the sequential manner only. It works well for a small project. If it is the small product, it is very useful. What happened? And we will see the disadvantages also. First we will discuss all the advantages. Next, all the stages are early completed. Right, and here all the stages are specified clearly, and all the stages are completed one by one. If it completed the first phase, then only it will enter into the second phase. So these are the advantages. Then what are the disadvantages of this waterfall model? There are some disadvantages also. What are these? The user has to wait until all the phases has completed. Then only he will get the output, right? So after completion of all these phases only, the user will get the output. So to get the output, the user has to wait until the last moment. So in the last moment, he may or may not get the right product. So if we get the right product, it's okay. What happens if we may not get the right product? Again, he has to go through all the steps. Why? Because it doesn't, in the waterfall model, it doesn't give any chance to just go back to its previous step and to rectify the errors. Here the chance is not possible. You have to go through the sequential manner only, right? So in the sequential manner only you have to follow. Otherwise it doesn't allow to go back to its previous step and to rectify the error. That is the main problem of waterfall model. Whereas and the next model is what iterative model. So in the iterative model, what happened means, what are the drawbacks occur in the waterfall model? What are the drawbacks occur in the waterfall model are overcome in the iterative model. And in the iterative model, the development is also different. What means? So in the complete after requirement gathering, once the requirements are gathered, right? Once the requirements are gathered, all the requirements are classified into based on their functionalities, non-functionalities, right? And priority is also given. And how they implemented means, they will collect only some of the requirements. So the part of the requirements are taken and they will analysis and they will implement, like coding, testing. After completion of the testing, they will release build one. So that is the main advantage of iterative model. So in the waterfall model we have some drawbacks, but those drawbacks are overcome in the iterative model. So in the iterative model, all the requirements are collected, the requirements are analysis and coding phase. After testing phase, immediately they will release the build one. Then only they will go to the next phase. So that is the main advantage of iterative model. Here advantages are coming to advantages. The part of the output can be seen early in the stages. Here no need to wait until the last phase. Whatever the input you have taken, and you will get the output at the early stages also. Once you will get the build one, then only they will plan for the next build two. So in the build two also same process will be completed, like analysis, coding, testing, and immediately they will release build 2. Right. So build 2 is released. So like this, the iterative model will follows. So why it is called iterative model means, the entire output is not at all released at a time. They will release part by part. First part of the output will be released, and again they will collect some requirements. Then we have to perform all the steps. Again they will release build 2. like this they will perform the all the works. So this is about iterative model. And advantages, what are the advantages of iterative model means? So advantage, coming to the advantages, here the user no need to wait until the last phase. Why? Because each entire output, entire program is divided into builds, and based on the builds, based on the requirements, some output will be given at the early stages only. Then, so with the help of the iterative model, we can overcome the drawbacks which are occurred in the waterfall model. So these are the differences between iterative model and waterfall model. Okay, and the remaining models will be seen in the next class. Thank you.